Yeah. Come on.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And yes, immediately we are going to dive this all new Toyota Vios Ativ hybrid. And yes, if you want to find out my full walk around review of this, is available already on the channel because this one is solely a full test drive experience. So neat and grit, and this pairing this is a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine mated to a 0.76 kilowatt hour battery that produces a combined output of 111 horsepower and 121 newton meters of torque, and it is mated to a CVT transmission. And literally, first impressions, we are driving completely in EV mode, which is kind of weird driving EVs that's a hybrid now, but that's still a good thing. And here off the bat, on the car part, there's so many humps on this part. And what we all like about this all new Ativ now is the ground clearance of this. It stands at 160 millimeters. And something I have not showcased to you guys, the engine just kicked in by the way, during the walk around review, we have now the instrument cluster that displays a lot of information, and I like the new animation when you open the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Sir, yung nire-ready nyo kanina na para bang, ito, kasama nyo pala sila.
Hindi naman, hindi po. Pero sasabay lang po.
Kasama. I don't know where you want this from.
Wait. And this 10.1-inch infotainment system, and I knew it, it's almost exactly the same like what you get in the Yaris Cross HEV. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, they're both wireless, and you have a top-down 360-degree view camera with a decent amount of quality. And first thing we want to try out, this is EV mode. Then what happens if you accelerate it? Okay, that is pretty decent. And remember, the figures is kind of similar like what you get in a Corolla Cross Hybrid. That's what I driven a couple years ago. Speaking of, there's one in front of me. But I can tell immediately, since this being a Vios, it is kind of lighter on its feet. So I think this has better like power to weight ratio. I know that's a little bit technical. And with the electronic power assisted steering, there's surprisingly a good amount of HEV. It's not some like other cars in general where it's too light or too muted. This one has some feedback to it, which I kind of like. And with the rest though, like NVH at the moment, so far so good. You can hear a bit of the engine note, but it's not so bad. You can hear it only once you are trying to push this vehicle, which most of the people won't be doing anyways. And that's pretty basic drivetrain, no driving modes with this Vios Ativ. So, and being now a hybrid off the line, it's actually pretty peppy, as to say. And then you can hear a bit of the engine note once again, but again, it's pretty okay. Just driving it here around in BGC feels literally at home. And there's a reason I passed this route with there's a lot of traffic. I was testing out the hybrid system itself. So usually when it's at a stop, the engine is off. But for now, since the battery is a little bit on the lower side, it's charging the vehicle itself. This is what I like to with this all new Ativ. I don't need the plug to charge this vehicle since this is a series parallel hybrid, if that's what you call it. So there's so many new energy vehicles nowadays, and there's no RPM meter. You only can see eco, power, and the charge mode. And here with the notorious pumps here in VGC, unlike with that of the regular Vios, it goes up with them with these. And here a little bit of a bumps test here around in the rocky part of the pedestrian lane. It handled them with this. And unlike with the older Vios, the ride of this, even though this has a hybrid system, it feels pretty pliant for what this is. That's what I'll be honest, didn't like with the older Vios. It was a little bit too stiff for our liking, but this one, Toyota did tune it really well. So driving this now as a daily, a little bit more forgiving, as to say. And then here, just try to floor it again. It's not the fastest hybrid out there. However, it's actually puts up a decent performance. Call it like a Toyota GR010 of the Vios world, because the low end torque of this is actually pretty good for what this is. And being a usual Toyota with the series parallel hybrid, I know like 121 Newton meters doesn't sound much, but for a small sedan, subcompact sedan rather, like this, it's actually pretty decent. So for now, as you saw in the trip computer, it says this amount of kilometers per liter, but I will not base it on that because I hopefully have to try a proper drive of this very soon on the channel. But here around in the city, I think you can hit around 10 kilometers per liter, just depending on how light your foot is. But the rest, again, I think it's much better than the non-hybrid Vios, not the Ativ, okay? So remember, this one stands at 1,198,000 pesos, and there's a special color which just above 1,200,000 pesos. I would say it's right smack in the competition, whether it's an SUV or a sedan hybrid. Again, I'd like to thank everyone here at Toyota Motor Philippines, here at BGC Amphitheater, and to these guys, Miss Ade and Sir Inigo, who is actually behind us today. Ito po. So, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you soon with more Toyota reviews on the channel. Bye-bye.